Hello everyone, welcome to K2 Systems webinar. I hope all are you doing good and I welcome you all and myself Harpreet. I'm working with K2 Systems and before going through the webinar, I would like to tell you like mounting structure is one of the most important component of our solar PV systems. So the planning begins with mounting structures. Yeah, and the most we cannot plan anything without mounting structure. The planning begins with mounting structures. If you make any failure in the mounting structures, then whole planning is gets affected. So second thing which is most important is how many companies in the world are doing digitalizations. So example, like there are very few companies who are giving you digital solutions. You have heard about digital solutions in case of string sizing when it comes to inverters, for example, but you hardly know the companies which gives you online solutions calculating the bill of materials in case of mounting structures. So K2 Systems is one of the companies which give you digital solutions for even to calculate the components for the mounting structures. So let's begin our webinar today. Before going through webinar, I'll also tell you that we also have, you can also raise your questions during the webinar. If you have any questions, just raise your hand. And even in the end or in between the webinar, um, we can answer to those questions, and maybe we can switch on your mic if you have wanted to speak and instead of just writing. So just feel too free to ask. We will answer it either in the during the webinar or after the webinar. And also like to tell you that I am also joined today to this meeting by my colleagues Tillman from Germany and also Matthias from Sweden. And they will also help or answer to your questions. So let's begin our webinar today. So like to show you my screen. Is my screen readable? Yeah. Yes, I hope you can see my screen. So today's webinar is actually divided. Wait a minute. So what is the agenda for today's meeting? So there are different kind of applications. So we have, for example, flat roofs, we have metal roofs, we have tiles and so on. But today's focus is only on the flat roof systems. So ladies and gentlemen, we will be dividing this webinar into basically three parts. First, I would like to tell you about the company K2 Systems, which is a German-based company, and then about the flat roof systems in general. And in the third part, I will be telling you the most important or what is the objective of today's webinar is planning with K2 base. So it's our online tool. So I will be doing one uh, test installations with the installation with the project in somewhere in south of India, and I will show you how you can plan very simple in K2 base. So let's begin with company overview. So K2 Systems, apart from being a company of 180 employees, it's a company more than 15 years old. So you can see this is one of the most oldest company and most reliable companies. Yeah. As I told you earlier, planning is one of the most important aspect in solar PV projects. And planning is begins with mounting structures. And if you make any failure in the planning of mounting structures, then planning, string sizing planning, or transformer planning all electrical planning would be a waste, because if the installation, anything bad happens, if it can't sustain the wind, if it can't sustain the snow, the whole project will be badly damaged. Yeah, and you will lose your image in front of the end customers about your reputations. So don't negotiate in the planning stage, and we take care of it, and we have been taking care of this planning thing from the last 15 years, until we realize that in order to be more effective, more faster, there has to be some kind of an online tool which will not only help our end customers but also our technical team to help the customer needs faster and also accurate. So that's why we developed this K2 based online tool, which I will be talking about to you in the later half. Going forward with the company, it has 8 global locations. K2 has more than 100 worldwide distributors, and if you talk about installed capacity from the last more than 15 years, it's more than 10 gigawatt of solar capacity. Yeah, so you can see we have been many places in the world. We have a subsidiary in uh, Renningen, Germany. That's our headquarters basically. And then we have subsidiary in France. Then we have a subsidiary in Italy, England, USA. We operate under a name of Everest. Also in Mexico, we operate under the name of Everest, but it belongs to the same group. And also we have recently opened 2 more subsidiaries, one in South Africa and one in Brazil. And most importantly, we are soon going to open, the work is under progress, that we are going to open subsidiary in Delhi in north of India, and it will be named as K2 Systems Private Limited. And this is the place where I'm sitting at the moment and talking to you. And to talk about the worldwide installations, you can see we are almost everywhere in the world, be it Africa continent, be it India, be it Australia, be it South America. We have installation almost everywhere in the world. And the most important is, like all German companies, uh, the company believe in innovations. The company believes that there has to be new products considering the changes in the market, and we have a very intelligent, very talented team sitting in Renningen, Germany, R&D team, which are continuously developing new products, and which will help to cater the market needs. The idea is basically very simple, that it's easy to install. It should be structurally verified, and also it helps to reduce the balance of systems cost further. In a solar PV projects, the majority of the cost is from the solar PV panels, but we are also optimizing the structural cost also, so that the overall cost for the solar projects goes down. In line with that, we have been continuously developing our products. For example, in 2011 we have introduced S level, and 2012 we come up with another innovative product. See, you can see the changes which happened from 2011 to 2019. The last year we introduced our new product called S-Dome V50, and I will talk about our products in the consequent slides. So, talking about the quality, you can see we have been accredited by very international companies, TUV, MCS, and so on. And we are one of the few companies, I can proudly pound my chest and saying that we are one of the few companies which is offering a 12 years of warranty. Not many companies offer that, but we are very proudly say that we are one of the few companies which offer 12-year warranty on all components. And also we are using a high quality materials. The aluminum grade which we are using is called 6063 TW6, and it is the highest grade available in the market, and we are using the same. And we are also doing, for example, you can see a universal testing machine in this picture. We are continuously testing the materials, even the incoming material we are doing the testing on the sampling basis to make sure whatever the products we're going to deliver to the final customer is of best quality. And since this is a world of digitalization, we have a very beautiful app developed just recently. With this app, you can look at the installation videos to know how to better install a solar PV projects, not just structures but also the panels. You can also look on this app, like you can download the installation manuals, you can download the questionnaires for the project, everything, references, pictures, you can have a look. Everything is available on this app. And also in this below link, if you can click on this link, you can see this app even on your browser. And this app is available both with iPhone, Apple Store, and also for the Android users. So just go in the Google Play, just go into your respective stores, type in K2 Systems, and you'll find the app. And believe me, it's very wonderful app where you'll get all the information what you need, be it project references, be it project videos, all the documentations, technical documentation, everything is there. So please do download this app in your smartphones. So coming back to our topic of the today, before we move to our demo for the K2 base. So flat roof systems. So flat roof systems also, there are very new system developed which is getting famous is ballasted system. So the advantages of ballasted system is it saves cost because less civil construction work is required. Everything is ready-made, and most important is the customer is very much sensitive for his roof. So since this ballasted system doesn't require any penetrations, so only thing you have to do is you have to put some kind of a bricks or stones onto the structures so that it should be able to sustain the wind loads. And one more advantage is significantly faster and also cost wise, because it involves less civil works, the cost is also less. But if you say that we are doing only ballasted system on the flat room, it's the answer is no. The same product can be used for non-ballasted systems. So if you want some kind of a bricks already constructed, and then because of the high wind speed you are not wanted to use a ballasted system, you can also just simply screw down our structures uh, in that as well. So our product can be used both as ballasted as well as non-ballasted systems. This is one of the first product what I told you in the beginning that R&D developed just recently in 2019. The system is called S-Dome V system. The S stands, in my understanding, is S stand for south facing, or let's say single side, and this V stands for the profile basically. So this is only for single side facing. And also what we develop in this product is we have also EPDM layer, and based on the surface EPDM, this EPDM is most important that it should be able to tolerant, because aluminum is moving with temperatures, so there has to be something which compensate for the tolerances. And this EPDM is a very good better friction coefficient, so which will help you to reduce the ballasting weights, thereby also reducing the cost as well. And since the structure is uh, have low transport volume, it helps in reducing the logistics cost also. Then we have another system. This is basically the continuation of the same product. This is how a product looks like, and includes the windbreaker, which will basically on the back side of the panels to avoid any turbulences, wind turbulence on the back sides. And these are normal clamps and so on, like EPDM layer, which I talked about. All these are the components of S-Dome V system. Then some of the references. This picture shows Nice installation of around 200 kilowatt done with STOM V systems. The second product which we have is for the flat roof system is D-Dome V system. Like D here stands for double sided. So double side can be north south or it can be east west. The big advantages of such a system is the structure, let's say the mounting structure cost reduced by half. So the same installations, if you do with STOM V system and you decided to do with north, south, or east, west, then the structural cost get reduced by 50% because the amount of aluminum used will be reduced to 50%. And we normally recommend such systems because if you want to have more PV from particular area, then more PV can be installed in a particular area, and also more energy you can have it. But of course there are different softwares depending on the latitude, longitude. You can use PV and you can see what it makes sense. Yeah, so also there has to be cost to benefit ratio. So if you can do such analysis, there are some customers who did all this cost benefit analysis, also the yield analysis, and they found that east west or north south orientation, even for regions like India, they found it um, quite useful and decided to go with such D-Dome V systems. So I will recommend, before planning deciding about south facing, do have a look on uh, using double sided, either north south or east west, and see if you can if it makes sense cost wise and the benefit wise. Then these are the same components of D-Dome V systems, quite similar to STOM V systems. Only thing is the difference in this Dome VST peaks, which is in the middle of the picture here. Rest is almost the same. Then some references. See this. This is one of the references in Switzerland. This is one references in France, for example. And then to mention here is this system can be also used in the metal roof. So since today's seminar is focusing only on the flat roofs, in the next webinars, I will be also taking the metal roofs, and then we can talk more about the metal roofs or the trapezoidal sheets, for example. Then some people are very concerned about the optimum tilt angle. Here also we have a like a triangle and multi-angle solutions. So our standard solutions comes in 10 degrees, then 15 degrees, up to 40 degrees. And if we say this ideal inclination, I want 22 degrees, for example, that is also possible. Yeah. And most important, if you are thinking that whether to install the panel either portrait or landscape, both are possible with this solution. And this solution can also be used for the trapezoidal sheet metal or the metal roofs. Some references. See, this is a beautiful reference in Switzerland, almost 800 kilowatts, and this is we have done in last year. And then we have also one installation in the MENA region as well. So these are basically some products which I talked about what K2 is offering for the flat roof systems. Now I take you to the most important part or our today's topic is K2 base. Yeah. So hope you can see my screen. Yeah, I hope it's visible to all of you. And in this K2 base, it's an online tool. Yeah, it's basically an online tool. And let me log out from here first. Yeah. So coming to the main topic for today, K2Base. This is this online tool which whose need we felt that in order to calculate faster, in order to make all the calculation faster for the end customers, there has to be some kind of online tool, and that's why our R&D team worked very hard and developed this tool. This tool makes the life and work for not only end customers easier, but also for the technical teams working with K2. They it's this tool also helps them to uh, calculating the project requirements quite fast. So this tool is very simple to use. It's an online tool, so you don't need to download or install anything, and just you need to go to this URL link. It's called base.k2-systems.com. So I would recommend, if you guys uh, can do this planning together with me. I will be doing quite slow, so it's possible that you can do it this with me as well. The only thing you need to do is, what is most important is that to use K2 systems, we normally ask you to sign up. You need to just register, and it's free of cost. You don't need to pay even a penny for it. And what you need to do is, you can see here is the button called sign up. You just need to simply click on this sign up button, and it will just ask you a normal information like company name, your first name, your email, what password you want to set in for this K2 base, and just agree to the terms, and uh, click on the sign up. And once you've done this, we normally accept your request within the same day, that is 24 hours, and you get a confirmation email that you have been registered as uh, K2 base user, and and then you can start planning your solar PV systems on K2 base. And so let me tell you uh, about the home page. Basically, this system is possible that you can, some people are interested in metric systems, so they want everything in or meters, but also it's possible to do imperial calculations if you want to have in feet, for example. So it's up to you what measurement system you want to implement. And also you can choose languages. Yeah, so we have almost, this K2 base system is almost 18 languages. So if you are preferring some other languages, you can choose the language of your choice and plan your system. For example, my colleagues in different regions in Europe, for example, French region, they are using French language, Italian, they're using Italian, and so on. And here you can see there's also a icon called Sherpa. Sherpa is basically a robot, and here also you can ask any doubts about the K2 base. You can also talk to a robot, let's say, and you can also talk to him via WhatsApp or Messenger. So if you have any doubt, you can also talk to K2 Sherpa, similar to what iPhone do. And then you can download the project file. I will show you in the later, and same, like all are same, very simple to see. So what I will do right now is I will log in with my ID. I think you can also, for example, you can also start without sign up. You can also do follow up with me for this project, but I will log in, for example, here. So you see I have successfully logged in, and the first step begins with, you can see this K2 base is divided into 5 parts, let's say. First part is project, then the second part is roof, then the third part is design, loads is the fourth part, and fifth part is basically results, which is the outcome, and summary you can see, which is basically creating the files. So we'll going step by steps, and if possible, please have a look attentively what I'm doing, and I will be going quite slow so that you understand each and everything. So first step begin with the project. What I will do here is I will click on this new project here. So it will ask me if I've done something. I just click on OK. Click on this. So normally what it will automatically detect wherever you are sitting. Since I'm sitting in India, it automatically choose the location India. What I will do here is it's basically a Google based mapped, same like Helioscope which you used, for example. Here what I will do is I will enter the address of my location. So what I'm choosing here is today is a nice location in the south of India, in a beautiful city called Bangalore, which is the IT city, and I will be choosing a mall called the Forum Mall. Yeah. What I will do is I will zoom in, and I can so that I can see the rooftop very clearly. What I will do then, I will enter the project details. So first I will enter the name of the project. I will say this project is webinar 3rd April 2020, and design method I will talk about this later on. Then I will say the customer. For example, it can be your end customer also. So I will write the customer as webinarists. Webinarist. And then if you have a contact, then you can name of the contact person. If not, then just leave it. Yeah. So once this is finished, important thing is, like, because of the internet connection, you please click on please continuously keep on clicking the save project. Yeah. So you see my project is saved. Otherwise, if you're doing project and there's an internet problem, the whole project is gone. So I recommend to please keep on clicking on the save buttons very regularly. So once you are done with this, you will do is you go to the roof. You click on the roof, and then you see there are 3 points opened up: obstruction, remarks, and then on the top is some options. The only option which is activated at the moment is add a roof. So what I will do is I will click on this plus button. Once I click on this plus button, then it will ask me the type of the roof. So it can be either flat roof or a monopitch roof or a gable roof. But today's webinar is focusing only on the flat roofs. So what I will do is I will click on the flat roof. Just like Helioscope, if some of them are familiar, it's quite getting famous now. Here also you can choose polygon or rectangle. I know my shape is not exactly rectangle, so I will choose polygon here. And what I will do is I will define that it's a membrane. There's some kind of membrane, either it can be concrete or gravel, but there's something which is even in shape. This is flat in shape. Yeah. So I will select even membrane, and then I click on add. So once you've done this, what you do is you start drawing the line onto this Google image, satellite image. Yeah. So what I will do, like just like Helioscope, I will draw this roof very carefully. Yeah. Since it's a polygon, rectangle is much more simple. So since this shape is little bit different, Most important is that you should choose the endpoint. I'm not so accurate, but somehow able to do it. So you see, there's a green bar here which shows the orientation, and you can also change this orientation by clicking on this roof pitch orientation. It's also possible to change it. Yeah. And afterwards, what I will do is I will enter the some parameters for the roof, because uh, wind speeds are different at different heights. It's a normal thing. So now we need to enter this some values about the project. So it's important that you enter the correct values, because wind speeds are different at different heights, so it's better to have enter the right values. So here I know it's around 12 meters. I enters the building height as 12 meters, and roof pitch, I know it's, let's say, 1 degrees. It's not exactly 0 degrees. So internet is fine. What I will do is now I will define this roofing material. Roofing material is important to know the friction coefficient. Friction coefficient is basically tells you how slippery your roof is, and it also helps you decide the ballast in the end. So what I will choose here is, if you know the material, then you can choose accordingly. I will keep it here as bitumen, and then you will also enter this. It's quite normal in India that you have a what you say in Asian terms. Here it's written parapet wall height, but it's normally a safety wall, which is little bit higher in Asian region, but quite less in European, or some places doesn't exist. But in this region, I know it's around 1 meters, and I put it 1 meters, and then friction coefficient, I know, let's say it's 0.6. So if you have something like gravel, then you can have higher friction coefficient, and then you can go out of it. And then you see this roof part is complete. Yeah. So I will move to the next part, which is called design. What I've done is I have first moved to the project, and I have defined the project, entered the locations. I know that if I don't know the locations, I can just simply scroll down based on the Google Maps and then select the roof. Then I have gone to the roof. I defined the building height. I have defined the roof pitch. I have defined the orientation and material and so on. The basic information I put it, but I need to move to the design stage. So what I will do, I then, after doing this step, I will go to the design. In the design stage, since mounting structures and modules are both linked together, and in this our K2 base, we have almost a database of more than 500 module manufacturers. So I can choose, if I know my uh, module manufacturer, then I just, for example, I just put here Adani, which is the one of the number one manufacturer in terms of the capacity. I select Adani Solar here, and I choose most high range, high power module. Let's say 370 watt peak. And for example, in this module field, if you don't found your manufacturer, then what you can do is, instead of clicking on the manufacturer, you can say user defined. So, and then most important, then you have to define the length, width, frame height, power, and weight. These basically 5 features, because power will help you to know what is the size of the solar PV project, and weight will help you to know how much dead weight you are going to put it on your roof. But since we are using Adani, We'll go back again to Adani here, Adani Solar. And then I will say choose a high power module. Let's say 370. And then what I will do is I will define the module array. I will click on the module array, and then you see the only button which is activated is plus button. So what I will do, very simple, I will click on this plus button. And then in the first half, I showed you some products of K2 Systems. It will ask you which product you want to use for this project. So this is here you have 6 options. What I will do is I will go with my favorite one, which is just recently developed, STORM V15. So I will click on this, and with STORM it will automatically select the orientation because then it select landscape, for example. And for the module layout you have 2 options. Either you say complete roof, it will automatically calculate complete roof, or then you say module field. But I recommend that you choose the module field in order to be more flexible. And if you have already have a layout, you have made it in your AutoCAD files. So based on that layout, what you already your end customer has already done, you can also make a similar layout as well. So it ups to you what if you want to have a module field calculated by base, or if you want to have you already have your layout, you can make the similar layout here as well. So what I'll do here is I will click on this module field, and then I will click on add. Yeah, and then I wanted to actually use 2D view. I will escape it. I will click here this 2D view button, switch to 2D view, which help me to reduce the unnecessary pictures, which will help me to just focus on the project. And now you can see the this 2D view, you only see the project outline. And now what I will do is I will draw a module array now. You can also do it on the normal map also, but 2D switching to 2D view makes it much more easier and very easy. Just click on the 2D view which is on the top, and now I'll do what I'll do. I'll select the same uh, product, click on add, and then using my mouse and play button, I will make a module field. Yeah, so once it's done, I hope it's taking a little time. I hope it gets sooner. Yeah, perfect. So I can also play with it. Yeah, so there's some less space left, so I can make models some more here. Yeah, so you can see whole models are now there. Now what I will do is, since I will talk about thermal gaps. Yeah. So before talking about thermal gaps, what I have not done here is, since in this roof there is no obstructions. Yeah. So what I will do here is I assume that there's obstructions. The most common obstruction in Asia region is basically this water tank which is placed on the roof. Yeah. So even this normally this kind of obstruction which is there on the roof is the water tank. What I'll do is I will create one obstruction. What I will do here is I will uh, the obstruction, you can again go to the roof and draw, for example, a rectangle obstruction. And what you will do is, sorry, what you will do is you hide the solar panels and you draw a small obstruction here. Let me escape. Click on this rectangle obstruction. It's showing in feet. I want it in meters. We'll go here in metrics and draw again. Let's say I know this is around this water tank. The obstruction is normally maximum 2.5 meters, and yeah, whatever obstruction is. I'm assuming here an obstruction just to tell you if there is obstruction, you can play with that obstruction as well. So that's not at all a problem. So what I've done is I've created an obstruction, assuming it's making a shadow on my panels. And what's important is I know I have to put in order to know what how far the shadow would be. I need to put here the height of the shadow, as height of the obstruction as well. So here I know it's normally 1.5 meters, and minimum edge distance here means around this obstructions. For example, if this assuming is a water tank, around this obstruction you don't want any solar panels, so you keep some minimum distance, so which you put it as 0.2. I hope I'm clear so far, and if you have any questions, keep on asking on the chat box as well. Now, what I will do is I will ask here to show shading. See, this is showing a shading on the panels, and I also click here, show modules. So once I click again on the show modules, see obstruction has automatically delete the panels over there. So if you know there is obstruction already, then you can initially draw this obstruction. But since the roof which I've chosen does not have any obstruction, but I want to show you how what will happen if there is some obstructions. Yeah. So what you can do is that you can do some kind of shadow analysis also here. Yeah. See what here is it. What here it's calculating is it's calculating a shadow on a date of 21st December. It's a winter time basically. You know this shadow thing, if you do the shadow analysis, it's varies. Yeah, it's because the sun directions changes. Summer, the sun orientation is different, not the orientation, but the way the sun moves is different as compared to winters. So in winters, normally shadow is more uneven, and that's why we have a default value of 21st December. So let's see what will be the value. For example, if I choose today's date, that is 3rd April. So here you can see the shadow is here. Two models are shaded, nothing on the back side, nothing on the right side. But what I will do here is now I'll click on today's date, which is 3rd April. And then I click and I see how the shadow changes. See, this shadow effect is now lower, but it's now actually more uniform. You see, before that 21st December, there's nothing on the right side, nothing on the top, but it's more uniform because sun inclination is more now as compared to 21st December. Yeah. And if I say that the effect is not till 6 hours, usually it's very less. You have different software which does much more accurate shadow analysis, but our idea is to consider shadow analysis as well, because It's if there's a shadow on the solar panels, it will create dark spots. It will damage your solar panels. Yeah, and so it's very important to not to put any solar panels where shadow is occurring. Some shadow is okay, but not entirely. So even if I increase the time, for example, let's see how the shadow changes. Let's say 6 p.m. I hope the shadow effect will go much more higher. See, the shadow effect has gone even to here as well. Yeah. But what I will do here is I will assume that data is 21st December. No, 22 December doesn't matter. Yeah, and I will move this to 3:30. See, this is somehow shading two panels, and what I will go here is what I can do here is in order to delete these modules. Here, what I click here is a eraser button, same like eraser for your notebooks. Assuming this as a piece of paper, you can just simply click on this delete modules and simply select the panels which are shaded. I assume this also shaded. Yeah. And then I click again on this. Hope I'm clear so far. Please keep raising your hands or asking questions if you have. We'll also try to have some question answer session in the end of the webinar. Now I'll want to talk about thermal gaps. Thermal gaps is basically your aluminum is continuously moving. Yeah. So what you see, you have to give some space after some time. So normally the K2 base have some default values that, for example, here is have thermal gaps possible is in the vertical direction and in the horizontal direction. So I will click on to make changes in thermal gaps. I will click on the thermal gaps. So I know the thermal gap is after every 7th module. So you can see it's calculated from left to right. This is 1 module, 2 module, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here is a thermal gap. I click on this and this thermal gap is of 350 mm. What I wanted is I want to make it not thermal gap here, but I want to make a thermal gap just besides the obstruction. What I will do is click on this and I will click on existing thermal gap. And I will define even, let's say, half a meter. So this thermal gap here, this is thermal gap here. I don't need a thermal gap here. So I'll click on here and remove here. Yeah. Similarly, you can horizontal direction. Right now there's a thermal gap every 12 modules. So it calculates from the bottom left. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. So after 12 modules, there is a thermal gap. So what I wanted to, I said like, no, my layout says, my own layout says there's a gap after, let's say 15 modules. So what I'll do is 13, 14. I will click here and I will define here a thermal gap. I will click on existing thermal gap. And here I defined, yeah, 470 is fine. And I will click on it. But since I have thermal gap here, I don't need a thermal gap here. I will delete this. Cool. So it's still here. Okay, fine. And then here is a formal gap just next to the obstruction. What I will do is, since it's a shadow here, I will make this to be more safer that shadow doesn't happen. I'll make a bigger thermal gap here. I will create, let's say, 1 meter thermal gap here. So I will click on, yeah, see this is now getting more. And what I will do is also create a thermal gap here because of the uh, shadow effect. I want to let's better make sense to a thermal gap just next to the obstruction. So I will write here, I will even say avoid thermal gap. I will have it much more thermal gap. I will have it 1.5 meters. Yeah, so I have a thermal gap here, so I think I don't need this one. Yeah, the idea of creating all these things basically playing with thermal gaps, creating obstruction, just to give an idea like how beautiful this software is. You can create thermal gaps, you can make obstructions, you can create a layout of as what client wanted, yeah, as what your customer wanted. You can play with this as very nicely. Yeah. So what I will do is I will go back to the next part, and then I will go to the loads, which is very important in order to be uh, confirm that that your project is safer, uh, your system is statically verified. What here missing is for my region or for the project is for Europe, we already have a design Euro code mentioned, which is already the values of wind and snow already there, but not available for India, and which we are doing in the next half, that we don't need to manually enter the wind speeds. It will automatically take on the wind speed of Asia region as well. For that, for example, for this region in Bangalore, middle of Bangalore, I don't know the wind speed. So what I will do is I will make use of my wind maps. So I will show you a wind map of India. Hope it's visible to all of you. I'll make it little bit zoom in. So this is a wind map of India showing different wind zones, and wind speeds are quite high as compared to Europe. And I'm interested in the region where my project is. So I want to know the wind speeds where my project is. So what I will do is, I know it's in here, this area, this city, Bangalore. This is my target. I want to know the wind speed here. And this is almost like purple in color. It's around 33 meter wind per second. But what is this wind speed is 3 seconds values. Yeah, these are 3 second gusts. But what we normally need in our software, what is the best way, what is the reliable wind speed is the 10 minutes average, not the 3 seconds. Yeah, so I repeat, 3 second values is not the actual wind speed you use for a measurements. It's basically the average of 10 minutes. Yeah, so so normally you should calculate, you should use the figures of 10 minutes average. For that, our team has developed one Excel tool which converts this 3 second values into 10 minutes average, so that we know the values which we need to put it in our K2 based software. So what I will do here is, I know it's 33 meter per second, I will enter here 33, which is on the green. Actually, it's on the German language. Don't worry, we'll after the webinar, we will give you the wind map of India. We'll give you this presentation which I talked about in the beginning, and also this tool converting in English language. So what I will do here is I will put it here is in 3 meter second values. I will enter. It will automatically calculate into 10 minutes average. The 33 gets converted to 23. So now is the what value I need to put here is 23 meter second. So I'll go to my K2 base. I enter here is 23 meter per second. And also the wind pattern is different for coastal areas, for urban areas. So I need to define here what kind of area it is. Yeah. Sorry, the internet gets stuck. Now it's perfectly fine. So I know this Bangalore is a urban area. So I add here is urban area. Sorry, taking a little bit time. Let's have some patience and wait for it. Sorry, I didn't click the save button. If I misplace it and then I have to start it again. So I did a mistake. So if you're doing your project, please keep saving your project. Yeah. So that's very important. Saving your project every time help you saves time, save your future time. Let's say like that. Okay, still holding on. Okay, till the time it takes, I will click on another project, another app. Okay, still working. I will quickly define one more project here. Or the same. No, it's no. Okay. See here loads. What I did is I put 23 meter per second. Yeah, and on the snow load, I know no snow happens in at least in Bangalore region, so keep it 0. Yeah, so I have defined the loads here. So now I'll come back to my last part, which I will see the results. See, this results is showing a ballast plan basically, and yeah, and it's also showing that selecting mounting system can be installed as planned. The system is able to sustain the wind loads on this region, so everything is fine. And yeah, then what I will do is I will go to the summary page. Yeah, the summary page will give me the output power of the project. In this case is 155 kilowatts after removing the obstruction panels. Yeah, earlier it was higher. What I can do here is I get a very nice bill of material. If you scroll on this, you'll also get to know the image of this. And don't consider the prices listed here. You can ask me about the prices. It has taken a old value. And what I will do here is I can generate a report here. Yeah. So for example, I will say I want to have a ballast plan. Yeah. So it will say generate. Yeah. So see one PDF file getting downloaded. I click on this report. Yeah, it just will be showing just the ballast plan. So it will talk about the project. Yeah, it will talk about the project. Let me show you from the first. Talk about the project, date, author, then how to do the install the arrays. Then it is showing the ballast plan here. Yeah. What I will like to show you is I will to show you a complete report basically. So instead of just report, in this report, I want the project data, I want the assembly plans, I want the result, I want the structural analysis, and I want the bill of material. Yeah. And also in the results, I want to show you one more thing. Okay. Okay. So what I will do here is I will generate. I will also like talking to vertical loads. I will generate this report. So this, since we have asked for many things, it will be a little bit bigger in size, this report. Yeah, so it's a 15-page report, not talking only about the ballast plan, but also about the structural analysis. So the first page will talk about the project, author, and the date. The second page will talk about the location, the roof type, roof covering, building height, all the data which we have put it. This calculation is done for 25 years, module names, then the pre-assembly plan. This is how with the nice drawings. And then you see this complete layout is divided into 8 blocks. So you can see now first 8 blocks, it will tell you the measurements. Now it will talk about each blocks. Yeah. So the, for example, this you'll see this in each block, it will show you the forces on acting on each block. See, if you, I want to repeat this step. This is a complete layout plan, and now this has been divided into 8 blocks, and this report will tell you the forces for each block, also the dimensions. Here is example. This first block is 13.26 in meters in length, width is 6.15 meters. These are the forcing acting on the sides. Yeah. So for each block, there's it will tell you the forces which are acting. Then if you zoom in, we talked about the ballast plan. Yeah. So I want to zoom in. Yeah. Hope it's much more visible now. So for the first block, you need 15 kilograms. Also the locations where you need to put the ballast. So you need to put it in the edges, for example, here, and so on. And in the fourth block, you don't need to put anything here because that's not required. Because ballast plan is very important. optimum ballast plan, you don't want to put too much ballast because it will increase the cost, and also you don't want to put too less ballast because you want to make sure the system is structurally verified. It should be able to sustain the wind loads. So the optimum ballast plan is needed, and ballast plan is not just putting the weights but the locations where it has to be put it. So it will talk about that. And if I scroll down here, I talk about all blocks, for example, then ballast capacity, specific loads, and then some notes. And this one I want to talk you about a little bit in detail. See, this is specific loads, and this one talks about dead loads. Module array 1, I told you this array has been divided into 8 blocks, and it has some values. For example, the first block has 0.16 kilonewton per meter square. This dead load is values are very important. Yeah. uh, Talked about in the beginning is that planning is very important for a solar PV projects. You can't afford to make an error in the planning, because if you make error, the whole project get disturbed. Yeah, you will get a very bad name if you do a very faulty planning. So please plan it very nicely. And one of the most important feature is uh, K2, as a mounting structure company, don't take the responsibility of dead load. What do you mean by dead load over here is, dead load means that uh, we gives what all the structural analysis we did is for to make sure that our structures, the panels, etc., are able to withstand the external environmental forces acting on it. This external environmental forces can either be wind speeds or snow loads. Yeah, but what if my systems, if my roofs get damage because of the load of the weight which we are putting it? For that, we don't we don't know. It's based on the customer to customer. Yeah, so what we normally recommend, a good installers, what they normally do is they also have a structural engineer for the projects. So what structural engineer knows is these values, these numbers, they are interested in these numbers, and they know how to play with these numbers. Yeah, so what you need to tell them, to the structural engineers, yeah, I'm going to put a solar PV on the panel on the rooftop. The supplier, the for example K2 in this case, is giving me a 12 years of warranty, and also telling me that in this region, in Bangalore for example, is if the project will be able to sustain all the wind loads, there's no problem. But the only concern he says, which is not responsible, is the whether my roof itself will be able to sustain the load acting on it. So it's necessary that we should tell the input to the structural engineer or to the customer. If they are okay, then they know what is the thickness of the what is the how the roof is of the how the roof is designed, what is the thickness of the concrete and so on. They are fine with these numbers, it's not so much, then it's okay. And if they want to be much more safer, they can ask the structural engineer for the same, and they will tell you okay how to do that. Yeah, so this is actually, I want to tell you more about this, and then you can see this structural analysis report is there. So talk about various forces, basic wind speeds. I have put 23 meter per second, peak velocity pressure, and so on. Module area, yeah, module area is like 2 meters. It's a high 72 cell module. Dead weight also putting here, and then system is successfully calculated. So we are giving in writing with all our calculations, telling that okay, your project is successfully able to sustain the loads. Yeah, and then we take about the forces where it acting. Yeah, I talk about all the forces. It's not that we just randomly created the report, it also tells you which formulas we have used and how it's calculated. Yeah, and then in the end, I think uh, bill of material. Yeah, see, this is the complete bill of material. So you need for this project using our STOM V system, the recently developed by R&D in 2019. For this, you need 15 components along with the item number and the quantity and the weight. It gives you everything. Yeah. So now go back to the base. Yeah. So that's actually what I want to tell you uh, about the K2 base. So hope you like it. I hope I'm able to tell you uh, in as much clarity as possible how to use base. And if you have any questions um, or suggestions or whatever, please feel to contact me. I'm readily available via email and so on. And now, if you have some questions, I will uh, ask my colleagues, uh, Tillman or Matthias, that uh, to switch on the mics if somebody has a questions. So now there's a time for asking any questions. Yeah, I think nobody's asking any questions at the moment. So I would like to thank you, everyone. Thank you for being in this webinar. And I promise you, I will come back to more webinars in the next weeks with the different topics. But hope you should registered in this K2 base. I told you earlier how to do it. It's very simple. It takes less than 2 minutes to register in the K2 base online tool. So please do register it, and please do plan your projects on K2 base. It's very simple, as you've seen it, very easy. And if you have any questions regarding K2 base or about any about our K2 products, feel free to contact me. I will be gladly happy to support you with the information. And thank you for attending it, and wish you a great day. Thank you. Bye.